Alright, lovely. So invalidation high, very obvious, okay? So if price does shift above that high, we are not looking for longs. Every other ICT trader would probably still take longs, but that's because they're uneducated. Lovely. Shift in market structure, both assets, sweep of sell side, bullish bias. I mean, how many times do we teach that? Equal highs on ES. It's clearly invalidation high. So if we create a bullish gap here and don't take this high, we shall be taking longs. Let's have a look at this stop placement. So as far as stop placement, 100 points, right? We can run a stop placement here, but it doesn't make much of a difference. So a 96 handle stop. For a 2-to-1, this is perfectly fine for today. As far as position size, so we need to look at our position size here because so it'll be 50, 3 micros. This would be of 1 micro. 6 contracts. 6 contracts on the live. 1 micro on the 50k funded accounts. So 50 is 3 micros. It's about 1.5 micros. So if we get an entry off this gap, I will take a long. So 2 times 2 times, what have we got here? 96. 384. So 1 times 2 times 96 is $192. So you're only going to be risking about 200 on this trade, but that's as close to 300 as we can really get. Let's see if we get an entry. That's not an order block in favor, by the way, guys. That's actually a bearish order block. Let's see if price taps this gap. Still valid for longs. Still no tap on NQ or ES. Yeah, a couple ticks out. ES takes the invalidation high, so no trade here. Elite Trading said most people join just 1 or 2 ticks away, so can't we consider it a confirmation? What do you mean join? Join what? I don't understand join. We are aware of an issue impacting all traders. Well, yeah, no shit. No shit, Top Step. You know, it's pretty obvious that we do have an issue. I mean, out of all the times, London session, Asia, but New York, you're going to run it in New York. I don't know if I'm really rating this water, guys, because it's just not as, I don't know. I prefer the Pana water. The Solan Spanish water, I don't know. It's 3 times the price, but it's not definitely not 3 times better. Yeah, the Aqua Pana water. That's the one, yeah. But this is the Solan de Cabras. Cabhas. I'm not rating it. 5 outages since October. What did Elite Trader say? I didn't understand your join message. Enter the position. No, so it's like, you know, if price doesn't give you a fill, just because it's like, say, 2-3 points out from giving you a fill, doesn't mean that you should take an extra slippage, because you're going to get broker slippage or broker fees or broker essentially, you know, half a point out from what you actually want as an entry. That's standard, but there's no point making it worse than what it already is. That's not a rule that prices say 3 points out from an entry. Okay, let's make that where we always take a 3 point out entry. I know that's what you're thinking, but it's just your intrusive thoughts thinking of the if, buts, and maybes. You know, you either get an entry or you don't. Simple as that. Bearish bias, sweep of buy side, question mark. I'm going to redo my bias at 10 AM. But yeah, we got a sweep of buy side, so you are definitely correct to think that we were looking for shorts, because we are. You know, we was looking for longs. We was a couple ticks from entry, didn't get the entry. That's fine. We swept buy side, so yeah, we are looking for shorts. Whether our bias is bearish, we'll have to check that in a moment as well. I think Top Step, they seen the shift in market structure in the first day of macro, and they knew what was going down, because the whole Discord scaled up on all of their accounts, multiple prop firms. You know, the leaderboard, I haven't even checked it yet, but I think it's popping off, whole different level. And they seen the shift, and they just shut the platform down. They thought, now we can't be paying this one out. They better be back for the lunch macro though. I'm going to message Discord, not Discord, I'm going to message Top Step live support anyway and say that we caught a banger and they need to credit it to my account. I'm going to say, you know, we caught an entry regardless. Good question by Optimal. He said, in this would-be long, could we place the stop at the breakaway gap low for 60 points just under the order block? Under order block and all. Well, that's the actual stop placement that we were looking at. And the reason why a stop placement at the breakaway gap's low, if we was to take a long, you can't run it at this area because we have the bearish order block, right? Which is now our breaker block because we took the low. This breaker block, I wanted my stop placement at the low of this candle here, which was a 219 if I was to take an entry. But running at a breakaway gap low does not run it below all bullish PDRAs that will send that trade in favor. So that's why the stop placement would have been there and not at the breakaway gap low, if that makes sense. So breakaway gap low is our kind of last resort. We would have only risked about like $200 per 50k account, and on my scaled that'll be like $400 risk per account instead of $6. So that stop placement was a little hard to calculate, but yeah, it's not a problem. This is what I like when you get over to like March, April time. You're gonna find we're gonna be taking quite a few 80 or even 90 handle stop placements. It'll be pretty standard in March time. It's just so volatile. Each 1 minute candle consists of like 50 points. I'm going to relook at the bias here. Okay, so we got a bearish 5. We got a neutral 15. We got a bullish hourly still because we inversed the bearish on the hourly. So because of the inverse, we are bullish on the hourly towards the next hourly high, and this was taken at the 8 a.m. so it hasn't actually been taken on either asset. You can see on the 4-hour, this is an unfilled imbalance that was traded into on ES. So this is bearish on the 4-hour time frame. Even though we inversed, it was bullish. I just want to double check when price, so price traded in at this area here and then inversed after, so we actually, no, that's still a bullish, that's a bullish 4-hour there. And a bullish daily. Okay. Pencil Pusher, quite a strange username, but he said, when displacement is so big, would you ever use OTE? Well, you know, OTE is just our last resort. Finding 50% of a gap, it's last resort, because as far as getting an entry, it really does definitely put your chances of even getting an entry, even if price does tap the gap, down probably to like 30%. So as a complete preference, I always want to use that as my full last resort. I mean, if it's like 120 handles stop, then yeah, we'd look for an OTE, but a 2-to-1 of risking 100 points to aim for 200 today, completely realistic of the current price action. 200 points today is not unrealistic at all. Everyone's saying the dashboard's back. Well, that's actually kind of good news. Let's have a look. Holy shit, I think we're coming back. Yeah, I've just got a grey screen. Yeah, I'm not loading in. I don't know about you. Oh, here we go. I've got an orange loading circle here. Feel like I'm downloading GTA 6. Oh, I'm actually back. Oh yeah, we're back, guys, we're back. I've loaded back into the Top Step lobby. The accounts are back. Wait, so Mo got maximum loss violation, didn't even place a trade? No way. That's mad. Dyer Venny. -2. Holy shit, brother. -2,400. They will refund it. Contact support, say I was in a trade and the platform went down, and they will refund that. They grant you a new evaluation, and they should grant you a new Express account. If you was in a position, which I mean you shouldn't have been in a position, so it's like, you know, if they don't refund you, that's your loss. But as far as people on evaluations, yeah, I completely understand why people were trying to pass evaluations. That's perfectly fine. Just contact support. If their platform goes down, that's their issue. They should compensate for a new account. So make sure you contact the support and absolutely spam them until they do give you a result. So yeah, the 4 hour time frame, it definitely wasn't easy to identify the bias because it's bullish from the inverse on the 4 hour bearish gap, and then we have an unfilled gap which ES traded into, NQ didn't. But we traded into this before and then we inversed after, so it was bearish from this standpoint on the unfilled 4 hour. And then from the inverse, which happened after, that was the change after which made the 4 hour bullish. So it inversed at 10 AM after, and this happened before, if that makes sense. So that's why we got a bullish 4 hour. Daily's bullish, that's pretty obvious. The 1 hour is because we inverse the bearish gap, so we're just looking for price to trade towards an hourly high or an hourly bearish gap. The 15's neutral, we're trading a nothing, and we're trading out of a 5 minute bearish gap. So, you know, that's why our current bias stands as that. What did Ren say? So as far as a model, guys, this is a model for shorts, but it doesn't mean that we would take shorts because it doesn't pair with our bias. Right, I'm just looking at, I don't know, he's made 2,100. Okay. So you got, what's that, an eval? Ren said, please. Explain that 4 hour again. Simple, brother. So obviously, we had a bearish bias on the 4 hour, and then we inversed the bearish gap after, so it's bullish. You know, I always find Mr. Trader, your profile picture is quite funny. I'll tell you that. It's a suspicious profile picture. We took the 1 hour high, so price took the 1 hour high and then closed for an inverse, so the draw is actually towards the next 1 hour high. Yeah, everyone on Top Step should be back by now. I mean, even the people with slow Wi-Fi should have probably loaded that up by now. I mean, guys, if you're struggling with Wi-Fi, it's actually not your fault if your house has shit Wi-Fi. It's actually the area you're in. Your area's got shit Wi-Fi. That's usually the case, because, you know, I'm in Thailand and everyone thinks Thailand's got shit Wi-Fi. No, it's actually got some of the fastest Wi-Fi in the world. So it's the area you're in, and the area I'm in has extremely good, like probably some of the best in the world, Wi-Fi. Apart from obviously NASA and everything, but every apartment round here has 800 download speeds. You know, it's unbelievable. I mean, Wi-Fi for me is just so essential. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. I knew so. I was waiting for this question. I was waiting for one of you guys to ask this question. So, what is your thoughts on the Nasdaq going to 24 hours? So, for you guys, it's not going to make any impact or difference at all. And essentially, we're going from, I believe it's like a 6-hour layover. Or, yeah, so the Nasdaq's going from trading from like 16 hours, and we're having a 6-hour, and now it's going to a 1 hour. So, it'll be closed for only 1 hour. It'll be open for 23 hours. There's no difference to you, there's no difference to the macros, there's no difference to the New York session. Everything remains the same. It means just there'll be 1 hour closed for maintenance. Some people said there might be lower volatility, but that's just bullshit, really. I mean, it's not going to make any sort of difference to how volatile the New York session is. So what happens inside of the New York session will still remain the same. There's just going to be no absolute difference at all. And London, Asia, New York, all remains the same. When I backtest and I take a loss, I go back. So you've just said it there. When you take a loss, but also when you take a winning trade as well, because you need to be looking at your wins as far as your losses the exact same, because many of you guys will take a winning position and not ever look back at it. But you need to look back at your winning positions as much as you look at your losses. It's the exact same. You know, at the end of the day, price action and the probable outcome of you taking a position, even if you took an incorrect trade, you can still make a profit. So you need to make sure you still look at both sides of the story the exact same, if that makes sense. Mate, am I getting it wrong? I have the 4 hour as bearish. Yeah, mate, you're getting it wrong. Yeah, the 4 hour is bullish. I mean, first of all, brother, you're looking at the 15-minute time frame. But if you look at the 4 hour time frame, yeah, absolutely, Ryan. One thing I'll say, Ryan, I've seen you done a lot of backtesting. If you post your, well, if you don't mind anyway, your backtesting results in the So the actual results that you got for each year or each month that you've done, just to share them inside of the VIP backtesting. Because I see many of you guys doing a lot of backtesting, asking each other a lot of questions, but the results is one of the most important things, because other members will backtest your same results and also give you advice to if you took an invalid position, etc. So it's very important. So whenever you complete a month of backtesting, just always post your results, the TradeZeller results, in the backtesting VIP, and there's always going to be people who will look at your results and tell you and call you out on your mistakes. Time for a little cigar. A little bit of nicotine for hyperfocus. Absolutely. I have a jet lighter, but my jet lighter ran out and I've not actually ordered any fuel to fill it up, so I have to use a flame lighter, which kind of, if you don't light it properly with the flame, it can give you quite a bad pull. Kind of ruins cigar a little bit. What cigar am I smoking? The box. I put a photo on my story. I usually smoke. What are they? They are Cubans, and they're imported from Cuba, officially stamped from Cuba. They're not fake Cubans. So I get them from Bangkok, and I usually go up there and buy about 15 to 20 at a time, and I get around 15 cigars, Cubans, and they are quality Cubans. They're my favorite ones. For about $1,000 for about 15. So it's a good price. But obviously I don't smoke them all to myself. I share them with a lot of people who visit, come over as well. So to be honest, I donate the majority of them. Okay, I'll ask them if they have that next time. I'll see if I can buy one of those, Isaac. The benefit to cigars is that obviously you don't bring it back towards your lungs, so your lungs are not getting wrecked, but you'll still get mouth cancer. Someone said Top Step isn't working again. Attempting to reconnect. Yeah, it looks like we're having the same issue here. Yeah. What a shit platform. Shit platform, great prop firm. I was fine when they was on Tradeovate. Top Step when they was on Tradeovate, I never had any issues. Why did they have to switch? I was perfectly fine on Tradeovate. And this platform, as great as it is, as easy it is to set your TP and your stop, I set my TP and my stop perfectly fine before. I don't need no differences. We use TradeSync Top Step. We don't need your platform. How much capital should I use to open up a live account? Well, that's a good question. Your capital that you need for a live account, obviously we're at the end of the first day of macro, waiting for the second, and the capital you need towards a live account is to have max allocation funding on all of your prop firms. So you need Take Profit, My Funded Futures, Alpha Futures, you need 20 Apex accounts, and you need 5 Top Step accounts. So that's 38 accounts. If you don't have 38 50k accounts, then you need to get that first. Whether you're, I'm not going to say it because I'm recording for YouTube, but whether you're going to fast track the prop firms and get them in 2 days, or you're just going to, however you get the evals passed, you get them passed and you get those accounts, and then if you have the 38 accounts, then you can start a live account. And the minimum for a live account, I would say, is 10k USD. So you don't need to start with much, but a 10k USD live account is perfectly fine, and you can risk, say, about $500 per trade on a 10k USD live, and you're not going to build up your live account with risking $500 per trade. By the end of the year, you'll probably be sat still under 20k. So the way that you will build your live is from prop firms and the payouts, and splitting your payouts from real estate, crypto, 10% emergency fund, etc. But majority of your payouts is going towards your live account. That's how you're going to grow it. So make sure you build the base first. You get your 50k funded accounts. You're running them all under TradeSync. I must have seen a video earlier of someone talking about how they don't want to trade all of their prop firm accounts at once, because they said that they don't want to risk all of their hard work under one trade copier. I've never had any issues. And let's say, for example, that TradeSync doesn't close out. Well, that's your job to check. If you're in a position and you close out of a position, I check TradeSync. Are my accounts closed out? Yes. Okay, right. There's flat and all. If they're not. Okay, so with a sweep of sell side going into the second AM macro, we got ES about to take out London, bullish SMT on NQ. We would look for longs, and I'm presuming that we already have a bullish bias because we did previously. So we'd redo our bias at 1040. Top step, always trade for tomorrow. For tomorrow? Can't even trade for today. My Funded Futures Rapid Plan. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, My Funded Futures and Top Step, definitely the top two prop firms in the space. followed by take profit, then alpha futures, then apex. Okay, so rapid plan, let's have a look at this. Let's look at their trading rules. So 50% consistency, profit 3k, end of day drawdown, pretty standard. 5 contracts. I believe they changed that from 3 to 5. First payout 1 day. Minimum payout 500. Consistency rule. No consistency on funded. No scaling rule. That's interesting. Well, that's not good. Okay, so that's the only... I knew there'd be some sort of downturn with the rapid plan. So, yeah, the rapid plan... the issue with the funded stage on the rapid plan with my funded futures, this must be new because I haven't seen this before. The issue is that they have a real-time drawdown status on the funded stage, which is not really too beneficial for yourself. They usually have a end of day drawdown, and you want end of day drawdown, it's very important, but they have a Apex trailing drawdown live for their drawdown mode on funded, so that's actually a very big difference that you don't want. So still the best plan for you guys, which is the #1 plan, is the scale plan with my funded futures, and then the flex add-on request cap 6k per payout. So that's essential. So you add the free request cap 6k per payout scale plan. You've got an end of day drawdown. Scaling rule, yes, but it doesn't matter. You don't care about the scaling rule because it doesn't affect you at all. End of day drawdown. Yeah, so scale plan with my funded futures is the best. Even with the rapid plan, it's not good. Scale's the best. Waleed said, Only prop that accept my country as alpha. Okay, so suggestions for Waleed. I don't really know, to be honest, Waleed. I'm trying to think. No, because if Waleed uses a VPN, then as far as like verification for his account, because many prop firms want a what do you call what's that KYC verification, and if the country he's from doesn't support it, then he won't get paid. Yeah, it's difficult. Have you tried FTMO? Waleed, where are you actually from? Algeria. Yeah, to be honest, Willie, the only thing I could suggest to you, I can't log into TopStep X. I don't know about you guys, but it just won't let me log in. The only thing I can suggest to you, Waleed, would be to do a VPN for the US. So buy a location in the US on a VPN and trade using the VPN. But you're also going to have to buy yourself a fake US ID and create some sort of US bank account so you can get paid to it. So you can pass the KYC with the fake driver's license US. You can do the KYC and scan your face because you have the license. And then you have the US bank account, but you're not a US citizen. And you can get a US bank account, but that's quite a lot of work, to be honest. I don't really know, to be honest. You should be fine on My Fund Futures, Alpha Futures. Stick with that for now and just scale up your live account. Don't stress it too much. What props pay in crypto? That's FTMO. Yeah, even if you have a Wise account, as Mo said, you can get paid into your Wise, or you can get paid into a Revolut account as well. They're both international accounts. Is TopStep working for you guys? Because I can't seem to get it to work. Well, to be fair, I think I spelt my username wrong, but let's try it again. A lot of people keep asking me about one-to-ones. I don't do one-to-ones. I only have people from the past that I speak to from one-to-ones. They will never happen again. So for those of you that got the opportunity, then you still have the opportunity. And I've been working with many people, around 8 to 10 people, and 80% have achieved, way further than my expectations. I've had people take over 100k in payouts, and I still communicate with them on actually helping them scale to a whole different level, which is very, very good to see. What's going on, C4, mate? I'm not talking about one-to-one risk to reward. I'm talking about one-to-one mentorship. There's something I would never offer again. I have contacts of a few people who joined the one-to-one, and I continue to speak with them and help them take them to a whole different level. That's pretty much it. There's no need for new people. Alright, let's take a look at our bias for the second day of macro. So the 5 minute would be bearish from what we can see here, and then we see what have we actually traded out of. So we're trading out of a 5 minute bullish gap, so that's our most recent trade in. The bearish gap got inversed anyway, so it was bearish only out of this point. We're bullish on the 5. I'm expecting a bullish bias here. We got a bullish 15. We got a bullish hourly. Bullish on the 4 hour, and obviously bullish on the daily. So we got 100% bullish bias. Sweep of sell side. So we're going to look for a shift above this previous short-term high, which is our bearish order block, and then we'll be seeking towards buy side. Bullish SMT on NQ from London lows. It's equal London lows as it stands on ES. So I would actually like that to get taken out before we shift. It's not essential. We still swept sell side, but it's definitely a preference. I mean, leaving equal London lows isn't something that I would want. Ren said, small candles today, need to add contracts. Brother, these are not small candles today. This is a very, very, very volatile day indeed. Definitely not need to add contracts. Each candle, I mean, even this one here is 25 points. So we're looking at a very volatile day indeed. Let's try reload top step X. Let's try log in quickly before we get a shift. Okay, we're starting to get a shift on NQ and ES. So if this forms a gap, then we'll take a long. Invalidation high, pretty obvious, would be this high. Top step X, doesn't seem that is actually yeah, I can't seem to log in on top step X, to be honest. I don't know what you guys are experiencing, but it's not letting me log in. So that's the invalidation high, very obvious. Okay, so yeah, top step's not logging in. Stop placement, we're looking at 60 handle stop. So 60 points is 3 micros. So considering we don't take that high, we'd look for a long with 3 micros on the 50k standard, and then obviously 6 micros for a scaled. Standard 2-to-1. See if we get an entry for price. So ES getting rather close. Yeah, no position there. So even if price trades back towards that gap, remember that we're not going to take a long. ES takes that invalidation high, so ES is swept minor buy side. Very important to note. Holy shit. $43,500. How have you entered with 15 contracts? Is that on an express? Holy shit. Oh my god, there's a bug on my screen. What is that? What even is that? Like, guys, that is unbelievable. What is that? I'm going to take a photo of that. Holy shit, I think it's just disappeared. Oh my god, it disappeared. Oh my fuck. It's right there. I just killed it. That's what happens when you leave your balcony door open. Sometimes they get in. Yeah, it was probably a top step employee, yeah. Yeah, Jex, I just put it in the chat. It's MNQH26 or NQH26 for the full contract. So price obviously swept in validation high, so the obvious scenario is that price just trades back towards sell side. You wouldn't want to look for a position for longs here, regardless on where price action draws to. That's jokes. Looks like you got hit by one of those Ukraine drones. Yeah, so as of now, guys, in the second day macro, there's no positions for us here. GN French. What does TS mean? I've always wondered. I've seen people type with TS. I never understood that. TeamSpeak. Yeah, all this XD and TS stuff, I don't understand any of that stuff. I don't think I want to anyway. Yeah, top step X at the moment, it appears that it's showing a delayed chart. But this is like the longest 1 minute candle I've ever seen in my life. It just is not closing. Oh yeah, that's right. If you refresh the screen, it will give you live. Yeah. So we still remain with a relatively strong bullish bias, as you can see. So we'd like to see, as we get into lunch, or whether it happens in this second day macro, a sweep of minus sell side, and then we can just look for longs from there. So that's what we're looking for as we get into this, the end part of this second AM, and also going into lunch as well. Alright, yes guys, let's look at this lunch macro and let's take a look. So if we start with our bias on the 5-minute time frame, we trade out of the 5-minute bearish gap, and from that point we are still bearish on the 5. Do we trade into anything as of this point? So we go bearish. We actually are bullish on the 5, so that will remain. If we look at the 15-minute time frame, it's bullish as well. The hourly is also bullish, so is the 4 and so is the daily. We've got a bullish bias. We have a sweep of sell side, bullish SMT on NQ. So we'd look for a shift above this previous short-term high, and then we can look for longs during the lunch macro. I've just finished making the 1,300 calorie bulk shake, so we're definitely ready for this lunch macro. Yeah, Top Step's had quite a few outages. You know, I don't know, Project X isn't really working too well for them, to be honest. But yeah, the bulk shake's got 60 grams of protein, 1,300 calories. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable, to be honest, and it does taste amazing. So it helps you get in that extra, just over a quarter of your daily of what you need. Well, for me anyway. It's a great platform when it's working. Yeah, I agree. I think it's the best platform, but that's only when it works. What's the invalidation high? It would be this one. So there's no shift on NQ. And no shift on ES, obviously. So for example, if we do get a closure above the short-term high on NQ and ES, it would mean that we can take an entry long. Stop placement would be 30 points as of now, so I just want to see, do we get that closure? 30s, 5 micros, 10 micros unscaled. But no shift in market structure as of now, still no shift, so no position. Yeah, top step X is actually behind again, so I'm just going to reload top step X. It's showing me a chart which is like 20 minutes old. There you go. It's a bit more realistic. Okay, so we're starting to... We want to see if we get a closure above the short-term high, because that will confirm the shift, and then we got a gap on both assets, and we would have inversed the order block as well, so then we can look for a long. So I'd only take an entry if price does give a shift, because as of now it hasn't. And I'm also, make sure you look at ES as well, because we haven't seen a shift on ES also. So still no shift on NQ. This is the invalidation high, which you can see here. So that's just been taken. So there wouldn't be any positions here. Samuka, the coupon code for Apex, I don't know if they're doing 90% off, and also with the PA activation fee, I'm not really too sure what it is. But to be honest, the code always remains the same. Just use like save 90, save 50, save now. They all will give you the active discount of what they're currently running. To be honest, Samuka brother, I wouldn't rush Apex right now, because we are getting close to the end of the year, and what Apex is likely going to do is on the 25th, they're going to do probably the biggest sale they've done this year. So I'd wait until the 25th time before you just get with Apex. That would be my advice. Just wait until the end of the year for Apex. For now, just keep your top steps. I'll definitely go, Samuka, I'll tell you what, go with My Fund of Futures and go with the scale plan. Select the free option for the 6k cap payout. Scale plan, My Fund of Futures. Get those 5 accounts, and that's what I would start with. But for Apex, just leave them to the side for now. Have you finished backtesting your new entry model? Yeah, I've finished. Order blocks are a point of entry that we do look for. That is now implemented into our entry criteria. It just results in us taking more positions, therefore we make more money throughout the course of the year. So when people don't get an entry off the gap, we still actually will get an entry if price creates, say, in a bullish case scenario, a bullish order block above the gap. Because essentially what it means is that price draws back to the gap, doesn't quite tap it, trades higher, creates a bullish order block. And if that gives an entry, that's the second type of entry that we can look for. I've backtested that over 25 and it gave a increase in P&L, which has now been implemented. and I'm going over 2025 again. I'm still in February. I got caught up on a bit of business, so I haven't gone too far on second time round, but I aim to complete it by the end of the year. 25 again. Milo, we up 3R for Q4? Yeah, I believe so, something like that. Nothing crazy for Q4. The actual P&L for the model is sitting a little bit closer to 5 to 6R for Q4, but I'm currently sitting around 3R. Examples for the order block. Okay. So, for example, okay, so if I show you guys an example, let's take a look. Let's say that we get a model for price and we have a gap and price trades. How can I present this to you guys? Let's say this is the entry gap for shorts and price trades back towards the gap. Let's say it didn't get that close. Let's say it was here. And then the next candle afterwards is like this. So it trades like this. So this candle, which is the displacement candle, creates the gap, and then price trades up towards the gap. But what you'll see is that there'll be positions where the model's valid, but it doesn't actually trade towards the gap and give an entry. And then the next candle will continue in favor as a bearish case scenario. Creating a bearish order block in a bearish case where we're looking for shorts. The next candle, which would be this one, let's say, for example, the order block forms like this. This candle opens, trades up. That would be your entry, as this is a bearish order block, this candle engulfed. So you don't look for the entry of the fair value gap, you look for the entry of the order block, and then the trade then draws in favor, if that makes sense. So you get a candle like this. I don't know if that is a clear explanation to you guys, but that is the entry of order blocks. Where would the stop loss go? Just goes in a valid position. I mean, you know, it's a very obvious answer. Stop just goes. The order block entry with a stop loss and a risk to reward is dependent on the scenario and whether the stop loss is valid. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a 7% increase of more positions throughout the year. Yeah, that's correct. So 2026, we're going to get more trade opportunities. Nah, Samuka, you want to go for the scale plan. It's the scale plan, 100% scale plan. Don't go for rapid plan. The drawdown, on the way the drawdown is managed, on the rapid plan is shit because it's trailing. So it's active trailing. If you're up 2k, it then trails with your position. So don't go rapid plan. The pro plan is also not to your advantage. Just go for the scale plan. And then when you click scale plan, there'll be a free option for a 6k cap payout. Click that and activate that free, and then proceed with the account. So that's what you would do. That's the best plan they offer, is the scale plan with the free option. You'll see the free. Just make sure you select the free option, otherwise you'll be cooked. How was your trip to Amsterdam? I didn't hear of you for like a week. I thought you died. Thought you died, brother. What's your opinion about the brokers Kraken and Phantom? Well, I mean, personally, that's obviously for crypto, and I would use Binance if you can. Binance would be your best option. And then Kraken is good. I would use Kraken. They have a lot of liquidity in that broker, so Kraken's good. Yeah, come on, brother. Buddy took too many payouts. He had to take a trip to Amsterdam. Definitely well deserved and well celebrated. 100%. Yeah, Samuga, brother, you put me on, to be honest. I was sat there thinking about it, and I was like, I need to increase the protein, like you said. So I bought a huge tub of vanilla protein powder, and I'm just putting it with, like, what do you call it? Peanut butter, milk. What else do I put in there? I blend the oats into, like, a powder first as well. What else? A bit of ice cream, a banana. That's pretty much it. That's like 1,300 calories, because it comes out as like a 1 liter or more worth of blended shake. So it takes a while to get through, but it's like 1,300 calories. And then I'm eating about how much? About 350 or 400 grams of chicken, and about 0.6 or 0.8 kg of steak a day. You know, minced beef and steak, like, put that together as red meat. Yeah, the bulk's pretty serious, to be honest. I've managed to go from I started at 80.5 kg, and now I'm solidly in the morning at 86, and that's in a couple weeks, you know, so no, it's looking good. Is Top Step X the same as Project X? Well, they use Project X. That's their backbone for the platform that they run on. So yeah, you can kind of blame Project X for Top Step going down. Yeah, it appears obviously we've got a strong bullish bias still and price is trading higher, but we didn't get that shift, which you can see here, and price took out this high. And because we're taking buy side with still a bullish bias, it appears that we're probably not most likely going to get a position in this lunch macro. So guys, if you are down, what we are going to be doing after this stream, straight away after this stream, I mean, I don't have any time to be resting, is that we are going to be doing a live backtesting session. I'm personally backtesting myself through 25. So straight after this stream, I'm just going to continue to backtest. So I'll just go straight from live price action to TradeZella. If you want to tune in and continue with that, feel free to do so. But I know a lot of you once monitoring price want to get on with your day, so feel free to do so, but that's what I'm doing. So if you want to watch backtesting session, it will be recorded anyway, so I'll upload it in the backtesting VIP, so feel free if you want to tune in for that. It will literally be the same live stream as what we're doing now, so once this macro is over with, we're just going to get straight into backtesting. Yeah, we're going to be backtesting until 1 AM my time. And then basically after that, that's probably when I'll call it an evening, get a final meal in. And then we'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to do some more backtesting tomorrow through the day as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Very important. Yeah, guys, staying in one location is so important, because if you're bouncing from place to place, I've experienced this myself, you know, I've been to so many different countries, but if you're always moving from place to place, you're never actually going to have a routine that is really going to change your whole outlook on your current. So it's very important that you just stay in one location and you get used to the area. You're eating very clean. If you're skinny, get big. If you're fat, lose weight. Hit the gym, you know, 4 or 5 times a week. You're trading. You're hitting every single live session. You're not hitting, but you're monitoring price. You're not being late. You're not being, you know, missing the sessions. If you're trading, if you like trading in the evening, then pick a place in the world that you trade in the evening. If you like the mornings, cool, trade in the mornings. I mean, you're a bit psychotic if you quite like trading in the morning. I don't know who does. I don't personally trade in the morning. I absolutely hate it. But do what you want to do, and you guys got to lock in. Your life can change within 6 months. Honestly, it will change within 6 months. It really does not take a long time at all. And if you are in your parents' house, or you are still in your home city, then you're making a massive mistake. You need to get out of there. and change your overall location, because as soon as you do that, you're going to see the biggest change. I've seen the biggest change in my life when I left my parents' house, went halfway across the world, and I was by myself. I went by myself. I don't care if I'm by myself. And that's when everything changed. But one thing I don't recommend, do not go to places like Bali, because there's so many, broke fake entrepreneur kind of people there, and you're not gonna really enjoy Bali. To be honest, I think it's a shit fest full of people filming and doing their day in their lives. So you want to stay as far away from places like that, but you go to like business orientated places like Tokyo, Japan. So Tokyo in Japan, Singapore. If you like Dubai, then go there. Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket. These places you'll like, but I think Bali's probably it's an absolute shit fest. I've not even been there. I just don't like the idea of going to Bali at all. I think it's gay. So obviously we do have a neutral 5, we have a neutral 15, and then as far as the hourly time frame, which is still bullish, and so is the 4 and the daily, so we still have a bullish overall bias even though price is shifting lower in market structure. All you have to do, guys, it's so simple. If you are in a place or a location that you don't like waking up in the morning, like Bless said, he doesn't, well, whether he likes it or not, but he wakes up at 6:30 to monitor price in the California time zone. If you like that, then cool. But if you want to switch to a different location, then all you have to do is backtest price action and say, this is what I can expect, because I've backtested 2025, or if you backtest 23 or 24, and over an average 6-month period, this is how much result that I produce from the model. Okay, so how much P&L do I need to leave this location or leave what I'm currently doing, right? I need this many accounts, and this is my average result over 6 months. Okay, in 6 months, I'm going to be out of this location because I've acquired these accounts, I'm trading this model, so by mid of 2026, this is where I'm going to be, this is where I'm going. And that's how you make decisions, and it will happen. But you can't just sit there and assume that will happen or think it will happen. You actually need to go out and backtest and check to have realistic expectations. Because if you're trading 150k funded account, a couple of months will go by, you've made $2,000, and you're probably still sat there thinking, why have you not made more? Well, you're not going to make more than 2k within 2 months on a 50k account, because it's only 150, it's nothing. But you need to just slap a whiteboard on your wall. Get a whiteboard, stick it on your wall. Who cares about the landlord, and who cares if you own the house? Sell it anyway. You'll be selling it, you'll be out. You need to write down and say, this is what I'm doing, and you need to achieve it. So important. I mean, I stuck a whiteboard on my wall as well. Doesn't matter what situation that you're currently in, but I'm going from where I'm currently at to setting up a hedge fund. So I need to write the exact steps on my whiteboard and on how I'm increasing capital, which I've already achieved and I'm achieving day by day. And I stuck the whiteboard on the wall. It's very important. And when you achieve it, you just tick it off, you rub it off, and you write the next one. Because if you're going to sit there walking around with a thought in your head and a goal in your head, it's going to fly out. As soon as someone has a conversation or whatnot, that idea and thought's going to fly out of your head. You need it on a whiteboard, and you need to tick it off and say, you need to give yourself a deadline, right? Don't say, I need to make this much within this period. That's bullshit. You need to say, okay, I need some small goals on a whiteboard, and this week I shall achieve it. And it's all about the small achievements which will achieve the whole picture that you want. If you want a fucking SVJ or whatever you want, right, you need the small achievements. Otherwise, you're not going to get nothing. You're just going to go spinning in circles and go back to square one. And that's what I struggle with for many, many years, in the starting stages. And it's very important just say, I'm going to achieve this. And it could be so small, just like one 50k account. Before you know it, you got 38 accounts and you're talking about, let's put money into a live, let's scale that. Simple stuff. So obviously guys, that's the end of the lunch macro. So we're literally going straight off this actually. So let me close this tab. We are going straight into a backtesting session. So many of you guys are going to drop off and go, which is perfectly fine. But we're actually backtesting as of now. So I'll pull up my screen.